Oh, that's what that was. Sure.
Yeah. And I forgot, this kind of shit has been around a while, just to transition into this topic. Yeah, because
he's good, folks. He's very, very good.
Yeah, while you look for that, I just noticed the other day that there is a trans disc golfer named Natalie Ryan. And what's funny about this, you got this or no? It's fine. We can.
Which one?
Renee Richards was the tennis player. I'll just explain that. Was somebody who could. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
I got her. Now, folks, if you saw how many tabs I have, thing, it's insane.
That's why I was just looking at him, like go through 200 things. I'm like, do you have any methodology to this?
Nah.
But no,
nah, bruh.
So this goes back to the 70s when this person transitioned to compete in the female tennis, leagues or whatever the fuck, and just dominated. Whereas they couldn't make the top 2,000 in the men's league. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Then you had that swimmer, whoever that was. Leah Thomas. Okay, lovely. Yeah. Who is a college swimmer that just completely just dominated. Oh, the Penn State, I think, right? That dominated everybody. So now you got this trans disc golfer named Natalie Ryan.
Did we?
Yeah. Let's take a look at that YouTube video I sent you real quick, and we can just take a look. Now this is a lady who used to be a man, I guess, but maybe never was. I don't know
how that works now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But this is a lady who is on the professional disc golf circuit. Wasn't able to compete that well as a man. And here's the other thing. I could not figure out what the original name of this person was.
Nathaniel.
I'm thinking it must have been. But yeah, it's been scrubbed from any records and stuff, it seems like. Well, I couldn't find it. Yeah.
No need to dead name people on this show.
Right. So you can go out and play that if you want. We're just kind of talk over it. It's
It's
just to show you what's going on here. So let's get a look at this lady here. This is Natalie Ryan.
She's got a badonk.
Just play it, yeah. So this is just to give you a little idea of this lady in action. Having a nice throw there and everything. Now, I don't know, Tom. What do you think? Do you find this lady attractive or what? If you don't, I think you know what that means.
I know.
What do you think?
So I have, yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's fucking hot as shit.
Yeah. So there you go, some skill there. Now, if we want to switch over to that, her profile or whatever, you know what I mean? There's that and the.
Let's see this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can tell you, look, okay, I get it. I want so badly to be good at disc golf that I actually quit halfway through this year because I'm so fucking frustrated. I get it. If you could just switch to a different league and do much, much better than you were doing, you know what I mean? I understand the temptation, but, it's caused...
This is what we want here?
Oh, you know what? Real quick, can you scroll down on this video just to show something? Sure. Look at the comments, right?
Nope. Oh, comments are turned off
on every Natalie Ryan video that exists. So it's caused a bit. And one other thing you would notice, we don't even have to check it out, but these days in these pro disc golf tournaments, there's big crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
And when somebody pulls off an awesome shot, there's big applause. In all of these clips, it's just like a couple people watching.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can tell it's not a popular thing in that community, But yeah, if you want to show her profile really quick, you'll find that
yes,
it's a USDGC or something, whatever.
This?
Well, no, this is interesting. It was the other one, but we can go either way, and we can do one first or the whatever. So this is the U.S. Distance Championship.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. This is the lady we're talking about. See that? Yeah. So that's her picture there, if you want to move us, yeah. So player info, I can't really see that. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Member since 2018, official status, blah, blah, blah. Current rating, only 953. Now, stuff like that is why people point to the fact that, hey, this isn't... a lot of people that I've seen in comment sections and whatever places where, on Facebook where people do talk about this and shit, will be like, hey, there's no evidence that being a male... gives her. It's so funny how you end up having to talk about it. No, there's no evidence that having been a male gives this lady a leg up in this thing. Okay, now go to the other thing. These are the results from the distance championships from 2021, the disc golf distance championships. Now, if you look, Natalie Ryan, that lady we just saw, is at the top in the women's division, 458 feet, only beating the nearest woman or other woman.
Who is a biological, cisgendered.
Right, and obviously equal.
What if none of them were?
Yeah, they're all men. 454, right? So people are like, well, it's not like she's dominant. But look, okay, if she went to the men's division, she wouldn't even be on the leaderboard. That's the point, I think, more.
That's why I think that's people's argument against it. Like, yeah.
So he's just like a guy, well, whatever, was a guy that wasn't that good and not enough to compete in the men's division, but can win because all right, the one way that men's and women's a sport that's not a contact sport is something like distance is probably a way that you would measure
for sure
who has more average like strength and dexterity and whatever, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
So like this seems to be the only real way to measure it. Anyways, there's Natalie Ryan there at the top, and I don't know.
So basically, this is my takeaway from this. Let me just put us back up there so everyone can see my face when I say this. I'm just kidding. So my major takeaway is that you're irritated because you wouldn't be able to compete with any of these women.
Any of the women. Yeah, even if I switched to the women's league, I would still be a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, basically. I just want to tear someone else down.
Yeah, because you feel, I get it. No, but it is, I'm sure, like, it's just, look, it's getting weird. But then it's like clear answers. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, is a clear answer.
Well, the acceptance is so reflexive now. It's the assumed response. And if you're not, you're immediately entered into this camp. It's, you know what I mean? It's just been strengthening over the years. Like at first, I think going back some years when there was that trans MMA fighter. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Fallon Fox.
Oh, was
and
that
she
the
didn't
name?
disclose that she was once a man before until she had beat the fuck up.
And like permanently
she like
injured
broke
people, right?
Yeah, some one of the other females' face.
What was that, 10 years ago, say, or something like that?
Probably around that.
Going back to there when this conversation was sort of first proliferating in society.
Yeah, it was pretty common to be able to be like, no, I think that's fucked up.
There was a back and forth of people of all types. Now it's like, dude,
Twitter, kick you off.
If you're not lockstep, I mean, whatever. We can all make our own choices and we can all fucking group up how we want to do it, I guess. But I mean, like, I just think it's absurd that at this point, if you're not just lockstep in agreement with every single thing like this that happens, that you're immediately put into some camp of bigotry, you know? I don't know. Is this just a point that we just make over and over? Is this just what we do? What do the super spreaders think?
Yeah, so Mike says we need some ladies to pretend to be men and some ass. Now, that's a funny thing.
Are other disc golfers pissed about this? Now, that's interesting because disc golf is such a budding sport in the national on the national stage, say, like that. It has new attention. There's more money than there ever has been. Nobody quite is sure what to do with it. So there really aren't very many disc golfers that would ever really speak their mind on something like that because they finally have achieved this thing.
Also, if you've ever gone and disc golfed, it's pretty much just a bunch of fucking hippies.
Not anymore.
Is it a lot of like
pro leagues, dude? They're all wearing like khakis and polo shirts and and they're all very like clean cut athletic types now.
Okay, Mar-a-Lago crowd.
Yeah, they could. One day, brother, you laugh. But no, so are other disc golfers pissed off? I would imagine that some of the women have to be. You know what I mean? I would imagine the second place woman on that list is kind of annoyed.
Didn't she win like $17,000 for this this championship or something like that?
There's good, decent money in it. I think her wins last year were around 20,000. So I mean, that's
so it's on par with darts.
But it's one of those things where it's just now happening. And it'll probably keep getting bigger. You know,
disc golf now. Let's see in the chat if anyone else here has even tried disc golf. And I'm not trying to disparage Vinny because let's just be honest. I don't want to do that. He's my broadcasting partner.
Oh, okay. This is coming in. She wasn't a disc golfer at all until she became a lady.
Really? I think she was a tennis player.
And somebody else says there's more than one trans disc golfer. Well, we got the phone lines open if anybody wants to jump in on this.
We sure do.
Do we? Or do we have to do that?
Yeah, we do. Steve is calling with disc golf info.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Frolf. All right, Andrew, you've just lost 3 stars.
And it doesn't matter what sport it is. I'm just saying it's kind of so now you have these people that are newly in the spotlight, and I think most of them would probably be afraid to say anything if they were bothered by it. And I think this will be my friend Steve, who is like an ex-semi-pro disc golfer. Probably knows a lot about this.
Is he really?
I think so.
Okay.
Would you call yourself that, Steve?
Hello.
Okay.
Would you call yourself having played like semi-pro disc golf or no?
No, I played actual pro. Like I played against other pro players. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Jesus, really? Okay, well.
Yeah, he goes way back with the sport. Yeah. So what do you know about this?
So, well, I know a couple of things. I know that the PDGA has, I think, like the exact same rules that the Olympics does when it comes to trans disc golfers. So, like, it has to be, like, you have to have less than a certain amount of testosterone per 100 or whatever.
So they have to have some kind of, treatment to reduce their testosterone? Or?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
That's the current
estrogen
guideline is you can't have. But what? Yeah, okay. I don't want to cut you off, but yeah, it's a weird thing.
How
to
dystopic!
Do.
It's so weird.
Well, because the argument against it is it doesn't really matter what your current. You could have 0 testosterone, but if you had testosterone while your bones and muscles were being formed,
aren't there other factors?
Right.
it's hugely different. It's
it
makes an enormous difference. You could have 0. And so it's sort of a disingenuous.
Right. It makes a big difference because men are bigger and stronger. That being said, when you reduce testosterone, you're not as strong. So I think that's like one of the major arguments with like
you're not as strong as you would have been with the testosterone, but you still may be stronger than somebody who never.
Well, your body's going to be bigger. Your shoulders are going to be bigger. Your arms
density,
are going to be longer.
Your bone density.
Stuff, you know?
Your
isn't there
your hips are hinged differently. There's like a lot of.
Isn't there also ligament strength differences?
Yeah, ligaments is huge.
Because that's big in a sport like disc golf. Is ligament strength. Anyways, go on.
Yeah.
So that's like one kind of interesting thing that because there is a lot of controversy. Most of the people, I think everybody in general kind of has a problem with it within the sport. Women are much less vocal about it because there are sponsorships involved, so they can't really speak out against it, protest it against it.
That's kind of what I was
can't
figuring.
be sort of
sponsors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are lots of people that think that trans people should have their own division, which of course is like pretty ridiculous right now because
there'd be like 7 of them.
I mean maybe like if that, but you would have to have a very. I mean, whatever. Who knows? Maybe in 10 years, all this stuff goes away. Maybe in 10 years, 20% of the population is like this. But that's kind of also ridiculous.
I want to know if they have trans-specific porta potties at these events, because if not...
Yeah, no, just everybody's welcome. That's what they have.
God damn it, that's not good enough.
So basically there is a lot of people that are super, super angry, including super old school people. Hall of Famers are talking about like canceling their PDGA membership.
Really?
Like, this sort of thing.
Oh, so it is a controversy.
Definitely,
controversy in this world.
Well, that's why they had to turn off the comments on every single video.
I mean, that could be explained away, by them just being like, well, we don't want hateful comment.
People questioning in the chat why we're talking about this. There was a trans male to female disc golfer that won the women's distance championship. That's kind of what spurred this. But go on, Steve. Sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, so she also, I mean, whatever. She also won. I think she may have won this past weekend. And
she did.
Also won,
or he,
in August. So that kind of was the big spark to like the initial controversy regarding the whole thing was that she won.
I saw. So this person has played 57 tournaments and has 20 first place wins. That's pretty fucking nuts, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is I don't know. Is that like?
Oh yeah, that's like no.
There isn't like a Jordan that just dominates constant.
But I don't even know if he does that well. There's a guy named Paul McBeth that has been dominating for years, but I don't even think he has that kind of win percentage. Yeah.
Huh?
No, not at all.
No.
Well, okay, yeah. So I guess that becomes the argument: is if say we look into the future 10 years, and every female sport is dominated by a person that is identifying as a woman but was born a man. Well, that seems like it's going to be, you know what I mean? Like, then this argument that we hear on the side for it, that there's no difference and that that kind of goes out the window. I think it's already going out the window when you look at all of the stories that have been profiled on this show, for instance.
Yeah, well, and it's hard.
I mean, I think that
no, go ahead.
I think that within any sport, you're going to do better. Like, if you have any sort of talent, you're probably going to do better competing against women than you do against men if you're biologically born a male. That's a fact. That being said,
unless
like,
just because you
decide that you're going to be, like, I don't know, take hormones and get your nuts chopped off or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're going to be good at a sport. So
Yes, true.
I mean, this person,
you still have to be good, in other words.
Talented,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So you still have to be good at it. Like I was just ridiculing Vinny for, like, like he plays recreationally, so obviously he's not trying to. Well, I
wouldn't even call it recreation. It's like a form. It's just a form of masochism at this point. It's literally just a way to psychologically torture myself, and I just fucking stomp around in a field like, oh look, the failure is failing again. The guy who can never do anything can't do this, and just fucking throwing shit.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, but yeah. But in other words, Vinny couldn't go ahead and like. I don't know if anyone remembers. There was I think I talked about it on here. There's a British rapper, a black gentleman named Zuby, and a couple of years ago, when this all started coming to a head, a few years ago, he said he entered a female powerlifting competition in Britain, and said that he now identifies as a woman and broke all their fucking records. And he's not even he works out. He's a very fit guy. He is like a very big into fitness. But he was just sort of trying to illustrate the fact that now my point is Vinny, you couldn't just go and just say I'm a woman and then start winning these competitions because you know what I mean? You're just these ladies are still better.
I'll settle for getting in the women's room at Target.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But interestingly enough, I wanted to bring this up too. That in disc golf specifically, women can compete in the men's division.
Oh.
I mean, I wouldn't call it competing, but yeah, they could play.
That's kind of the point. Is even when, when the top female for years and years competes against the men at like the United States Disc Golf Championships, she still comes she beats like 5 people out of like 100.
Yeah, I mean? That's just how it is.
Sure. Which also kudos to her because. Going into a competition, no, she's not. That was a pretty adamant no.
No, I mean, somebody.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got a bow.
Sure.
I think she's got
a lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I gotcha. And good for her.
Got herself a little Natalie.
That's
holy shit.
But that's look. That would be. I commend that. Like, okay, this is where the competition is the actual hardest. I'm gonna go try my fucking test my mettle.
She's got a warrior
over
spirit.
here. Yeah, that's a warrior spirit, and I would commend her. I don't. Well, that's another argument that's always made in these sorts of discussions is why don't if there is no difference, then why don't you see a lot of trans men that were born women going into men's sports because the argument is they can't.
It's
not
because the whole thing is crazy. I mean,
yeah. I once had.
I don't understand the idea that, like, for the sake of compassion, which is a good thing.
Yes.
That we must throw out all science, logic, and statistics and everything. Well, I don't understand
science has
that. Like,
become incredibly bigoted in its scientificness.
yeah.
So we can't really use it anymore. But yeah, I once had a girl that I used to hang out with, and still do occasionally. And we were talking. She was talking about how women are oppressed, or something along these
bullshit
lines.
Broads like to yap about. Yeah,
I wasn't listening,
right?
But I was pretending to listen. But no, but she was saying like that the reason she thinks that the reason that there aren't as many or there are no females in the NFL or MLB or anything is because boys are encouraged much earlier to start playing these sports. And I was like, I won't use her name, but I was like, if you can't really think that. Like,
why do like so many? There's like 30% of the football players that are pros in the U.S. are all from fucking one island.
Yeah, and also like 1% of any men who tries that sport gets that. You could put one of us in there. And we get hit by one of these fucking linebackers running full speed. Yeah, we're in the hospital for 16 months.
Oh, we're dead.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
It's not a question of whether or not we started early.
Unless you gave me a bunch of discs, and I could try to whip it through that like little gap in the visor and blind him somehow, or just he could see how terrible I am, and he could just start laughing at me and fucking take pity.
Now,
on
David
me.
Box has made a claim. I've competed with Serena Williams in tennis several times, and I'm undefeated. Now, I don't know. I can't substantiate those right now, so I'm going to have to.
No, that's true.
Is it? Huh. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Was there more that you had to go over?
No, that's just about all I had. The one other thing that I wanted to say is that I think the original, like before this lady, disc golfer, they're actually somebody won the 2019 female pro world in an age-restricted division. So I think when we started having this conversation, you talked about how she had transitioned while she was playing disc golf. I think this one in particular, I think she has only ever competed as a female.
Okay.
I don't think she even started playing. But the female trans person that won the 2019 Worlds had started playing as a male, so that was like much more of a controversy.
Oh, so there's been another trans woman that has won this?
Yeah. So there was another one that started playing as a male, transitioned to a female to a point where they could meet the standards as a female, and then won the 2019 Worlds in the Masters division.
That's pretty bizarre.
Plus division. Yeah. So that's all I had. I thought I'd chime in because I know a little bit about it, and I know a little bit of like the old school guys and like the people that have problems with it. I know some of the people who are.
Yeah, that's that was stroke of genius.
Somebody in the
here. That was great.
Someone in the comments a while back said disc golf is such a young sport. Are the Hall of Famers in their 30s? But that's actually not true. It's been around since like the 70s, right?
Yeah, since like pretty much like I think 78 was when the PDJ was started.
Yeah, it just got popular the past few years, pretty much. But anyways, all right,
pretty darn crazy.
All right.
So thank you, Steve.
Yeah, so you guys have a good night. Enjoy your
thank you, everyone.
And
all right, man.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yep.
All right, everyone, give it up for ex-pro disc golfer Steve for the call-in.
See, and that's again how it's done.
How it's done.
We're discussing a topic. You know something about that topic, and then you call and you discuss that topic with us. I didn't think we'd have to explain.
It does help that if you're actually a pro,
at
the sport that we're talking about. I didn't expect that. That was nice, though.
That always helps. Do you want to watch that "Fuck You, Bitch" kid?